You're watching Terror Tales TV. Lock your doors, the design has already begun. The morning commute, a familiar routine, a silent promise of another day. Broken. On August 12, 2011, the world watched the North Bay Bridge become a monument to engineering failure. But for Sam Lawton, it wasn't an accident, it was a premonition, a vision of concrete dust and twisted steel. Welcome back to Terror Tales TV. Today we cross the bridge that led to oblivion. He saved 7 lives from the initial collapse. But death doesn't take kindly to being cheated. Candace Hooper, the graceful gymnast, thought she was untouchable. But the design is more agile. A chain of precision, a slip, a fall that was not her own. Grace turned to grotesque. A broken spine, death demands perfect form. Olivia Castle sought perfect vision, but the design had other plans for her eyes. A misstep, a panic. The laser, now uncontrolled, aimed for a different kind of correction. Her vision turned to darkness. Her screams echoed as the design literally burned her sight away. Nathan Sears worked in a factory of controlled chaos, but control is an illusion when death is in charge. A momentary distraction. A small object. The statue swings towards the unsuspecting. Compressed, erased. The design is efficient, it leaves no trace. Peter Friedkin, desperate to save his girlfriend, became desperate in his grief. Love turned to madness, a desperate act against the design, but the design fights back. A new victim, a new angle. Death takes no sides, it only takes lives. Sam and Molly believed they had escaped. A flight to Paris, a fresh start, a familiar number. The ultimate irony, a twist of fate. Or just the design closing the circle. Flight 180, the original design. No premonition this time, just inevitable doom. The circle is complete, the beginning is the end, and the end is always horrifying. Time is a circle, and for the survivors, the loop is tightening with every tick. The environment isn't just a setting, it's a predator lying in wait. A single drop, a single spark. That's all the design needs to bridge the gap. You walk past your own grave every day without ever knowing it. Gravity is the Reaper's most reliable accomplice, it never misses. Mechanical failure or a calculated strike, in this world there's no difference. The body knows, the nerves scream before the metal even touches the skin. Invisible hands are pulling the strings, and the tension is at a breaking point. Domestic bliss is a lie. Your home is a museum of potential tragedies. Mind the gap. Sometimes the gap is where the design hides its teeth. A slow burn, a sudden flash. The transition from life to ash is instantaneous. Signs are everywhere. You just have to be terrified enough to see them. Fragility versus force. The design has no room for beauty or mercy. A stumble, a slip, a permanent conclusion to a temporary mistake. The last thing you see isn't your life flashing. It's the design succeeding. Even the innocent places are tainted once you've cheated the end. One object out of place, one moment of distraction. That's the pattern. Death doesn't just want you dead, it wants the debt paid with interest. The list is being checked. The names are being crossed off in blood. Even the electricity is whispering the inevitable truth. Luxury is no shield. The higher you climb, the harder the design hits. A trail of fire, a path to the end. There are no detours left. The shadow is always one step ahead. It knows where you're going. It never stops, it never sleeps. The design is absolute. The vision that saved them ultimately condemned them. The factory closes, the workers leave, but death never punches out. The glory of life is fleeting, the final fall is permanent. The journey ends, the footage stops, but the story lingers. Small detail, an immense consequence. The design is simple yet absolute. Their flight of freedom became a flight into fate. The aftermath, the mourning, the silent question, who is next? Grief is a luxury the design rarely allows. The bridge stands again, a silent killer rebuilt, waiting. Every day is a countdown, every moment a potential trap. I'm your host for Terror Tales TV. The bridge may be fixed, but the design is never broken. Did you feel that tremor, that shift? The design is calling. Subscribe to Terror Tales TV. Don't fall for the illusion of safety. Hit the bell. You never know when your luck will run out. Terror Tales TV, your final destination is closer than you think.